Pecha Kucha 173, my first storyboard job. So I said last week I was going to put a storyboard advert up on 5squid, one of these websites where you charge a $5 for whatever service you provide, or a 10 or 20 or whatever. I did just that, so I took my Macbeth storyboard from my first year at university. Like I mentioned last week, I tidied up the first page and I just plonked the other stuff on the advert. So the idea is it's £5 per page. If you need multiple pages, you put in multiple orders. And if you actually search for storyboards on 5squid, you won't even get a full page of results that actually relate to storyboards. As you can see, with no basically feedback, I'm 4th from the top. And the other stuff after me is not storyboard related. So this is how I'm going to test the market, see what I can do. So I actually put my ad up on Monday, got this guy talking to me on Monday about basically a 3-page storyboard he wanted me to do. So we kind of ironed out the details. I said, hey, send me what you've got, and we'll just go back and forth until we're happy with the end results. So he sent me the script on Tuesday, and I'm sitting there having to draw, a family from Turkey doing their thing. They've got a sick kid in the first panel, and then they're in a car driving to a summer home for the rest of the page. And I don't know what I'm doing. I've got this script. I just have to scribble some stuff out. So I scribble some stuff out, and then I use that. I open up another layer, use that as something to refer back to. I scribble some stuff on top of the other stuff, just trying to figure out, where the camera is, general forms, how to position people in the car. I've never drawn people in a car before, right? So this is learning. So this is the first thing I send to the guy, just confirming the angles. He wants a top-down shot of the parents by the child in the bed. Super difficult to draw. It's extreme perspective. I don't know what I'm doing. Never drawn a child's bed before. Don't draw kids very often either. It's got to look like a photograph, so I've got to grab some, photograph filter thing as well. Everything is crazy. So I send it to him Tuesday night. He gets back to me Wednesday morning. Here's what I want you to change. I'm at work all day, so he's talking to me at 9 in the morning, and I know I can't get back to him until 9 o'clock at night with something to show. That breaks my heart. I just want to get on with this stuff. So I tighten everything up, edit what he wants edited. The more I add, the more it looks like I know what I'm doing. So this is the second level, the second draft I send him. It's starting to look like it's actually something. Now I've added the faces. This is me working on the third draft, where I've kind of done the people. Now I'm trying to do the car, trying to do this country road they're driving down. I've added like windshield lines to the back. I'm adding incidental details to make it look like maybe I've seen what a car looks like, what a road looks like, what people look like. And this is the final first page with text added. We went back and forth with that. If you look at it without looking too long, it's perfectly understandable, which is what a storyboard is supposed to be. There's no need to overly dwell on the quality of the art, because the storyboard isn't supposed to be finished art. So how am I figuring out what to draw? I'm just Googling stuff. He wants me to draw them in a BMW. I Google BMW. They're from Turkey. I Google Turkish man, Turkish woman, country road. I hope what I get is somewhat relevant. It's the best I can do when I come home from work and I've got 2 hours, right? So now he's happy enough with the first page, so we started the second yesterday, Saturday. It's the same. It's literally the follow-on. So there's a daughter in the back of the car. She's basically sticking her head out the car window to watch her dad take pictures as he sticks his head out the car window. So I'm trying to improve my workflow, draw the car on one layer, draw the people on the second. All the while I've been experimenting with how to incorporate vector lines so that so it looks professional, but without it killing my time flow and making it feel like work on top of work. That is still very much up in the air. So this is the first draft I sent to him of the second page. Again, this time he told me he wanted me to confirm the angles, because that's what I said to him the first time. So between us, we're developing this rhythm, this flow of what I send him, what he sends back. So we're both getting comfortable with how this is working as a process, because I'm literally making up as I go along. So this is what I sent him yesterday later on in the day. So again, it's where we were before. I've done the characters. There's a bit more detail all round. The next stage, of course, is to tighten up everything so it looks like that first page I sent him. And like I said earlier, it's a case of me Googling things. The child's in a bed. I don't really know what a child's bed looks like. Drawing at the dashboard of a car. Don't do that very often. Teenage fashion? Nope. Car doors, perspective going down roads, trees. Try drawing a tree when you've never drawn a tree. Fun times. A big lifesaver has been SketchUp, which again I mentioned and thought would be helpful going forward. They have BMWs in the reference library. You can get SketchUp for free. I'm using a free version of SketchUp. I googled car and there was a BMW. So this is really helping with some of the extreme perspective I have to use. So the point right now is I'm on 5 squid charging basically nothing. I'm trying to determine if there's a market, because all the big boys play on Fiverr. They charge very varying amounts of money for varying amounts of work. The idea is I build up my expertise and then I go there and actually make a living from this. To be continued. Right, so no sad clown of the week this week, but let's just point out I'm reading the Immortal Hulk. It's a pretty new take on the Incredible Hulk, of course, from Marvel. Really good, especially if you didn't care for the character all that much. I'm not a massive fan of the Hulk. This is more like a reboot where Bruce Banner dies pretty much all the time, and then the Hulk brings him back from the dead when the sun goes down. Is a very strong horror feel to the whole thing. The Hulk is the good guy in theory, but really it's more like he's the bad guy who punishes worse guys. It's got elements of horror, it's got elements of noir, it's got fabulous art. I've not read that much, but I can see why this is being very, very well received. Comic Tropes made me aware of this. I will consume as much of this as I can get my hands on. Of course, Marvel always overprice their comics, but this one's probably worth the price of admission. That brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 173. I'm off to finish my second storyboard, and I will see you next week.